How's it going, Vikings fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Skol Experience. We are joined by Tanishka again. Before we get into greetings, saying hello, we do got a little bit of breaking news in the building right now. Let me get this up. I should have done this while we were waiting, but I did not. Okay, here we go. Alexander Mattison back on a 2-year deal worth $7 million, can get up to $8 million with $6.35 million guaranteed. How we feeling about this one?
I don't know how I feel about it, man. It just makes me confused because what does that mean? What happens with Cook here? It's like all of a sudden everyone's kind of like, all right, we're going to end up keeping Cook, but how do we keep Cook and Mattison for the next, even the next couple of years? So I guess that just throws me off a little bit as far as what we're doing for the future at running back. What do y'all think? Tanishka, what do you think?
I think that the guarantees, because it's worth $8 million total, but guarantees being that high at like $6.4 million is like quite the commitment. So it's not like they can just easily get out of it next year if they wanted to, I wouldn't think. So honestly, I would think that this means Cook is gone. You never know. They might just end up keeping both of them. I don't think they should. Because again, it's running backs. Like, you don't need to invest almost $19 million in your running back room. That's way too much.
Yeah.
So I would love a Cook trade. I know like that people have been saying that Atlanta was interested, Miami was interested, but that's probably done now that they've signed like 3 running backs.
Right.
But I would think the signals that Cook is gone. This team's done weirder things, so if they kept him, I wouldn't be surprised either.
I know me and Jamie kind of talked about it all week, how there's been so many like back and forth different reports from, I feel like on Twitter nowadays, it's hard to tell who's legit and who's not because everybody has a thought and everybody's putting things out there. Everybody's buying the blue check mark too, making it look like, legitness and stuff. So, because there was this rumor, a few days ago where they said they were working to re-sign Mattison and were working on a trade for Dalvin.
Right.
So maybe that one is the more true option now. I mean, I know I don't know. Again, another rumor out there was Buffalo might be interested.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But yeah, I was not expecting this. Like over the last few days, it really kind of felt like, okay, Cook's staying. One play out this last year. I know his cap hit when we cut him, the dead cap gets less next year. Let Mattison walk, maybe draft a replacement to be that, kind of between the tackles, bruiser type running back. But now it's up in the air again. And again, Kwesi waits until 8 o'clock to make a move. So perfect timing, I guess.
I know he does that every single big news. It's always late, especially with these free agent signs with Davenport. I mean, we went live literally on what day was that? Was that Monday? Yeah, on Monday.
We ended like 5 minutes before.
Yeah, we're like, I bet you something's gonna happen right when we end it, and 5 minutes later, Davenport.
Yeah, sure enough.
A couple shout outs real quick though. JD, what's going on, man? Skol me up. Good re-sign. They should have taken the trade offer for Dalvin Cook when it presented and took it to the bank right away. David Skol, what's going on, David? Yeah, I mean, I agree with JD here. I mean, if we had a legitimate trade offer for Cook, but I have to also agree with Tanishka saying we have to kind of trade Cook. How can we? I don't know how it works because we owe him $13 million this year, and he doesn't want to restructure. He's not like working with us as far as we know now. So how can we go into next season with like 18 million on corner or on running backs by themselves? It's a lot.
Yeah, I don't think that's like a really good use of resources because they have a lot of other needs. So 2 running backs, like I don't mind paying just Mattison. If they want him to start, whatever, that's fine with me. But paying both of them, I'm not a huge fan of that.
No.
Right. So again, kind of a surprising move here, but
what do you think, Dave?
Well, I thought that we weren't saving we're saving some money, but we're taking a pretty decent dead cap hit if we release Cook, right? So it's almost like next year was the year that we'd easily get rid of him and it wouldn't hurt us that bad. Like it says $3 million, but and I didn't really know how that $2 million guarantee that he got affected things, and I think that actually helps because it's already been paid out, right? Like, is it if it's paid out, that means he'd be more attractive to trade. I really think my thought process going into this is, hope for a 3, take a 4. But if you take a draft pick for next year, you could probably get a higher pick for him. You know what I'm saying? Like a value for pick this year is greater than a value for pick next year, right? So it's almost like, hey, it was. I did that in the video. It was like, hey, let's get a pick for 2024 so we get more ammo to go after a quarterback. But
Right. But like one of the issues with that though is, you know, Delvin, this is the first season that he's been completely healthy. So if he comes out next year and does what Delvin does and gets hurt and misses a few games, then you're then you're weighing the running back even closer to 30.
Yeah.
Sure, a smaller cap hit, but is a team going to be more likely to trade?
I mean, I'm assuming we're going to keep trying to get rid of or to trade Cook, get some sort of value with them. I think the Matt. I'm absolutely shocked. I have no idea where we're getting this money. And I was expecting nothing. I was like, hey, all right, we got, you know, whatever. But we've gotten, you know, the players that we'll talk about them. But I'm just flabbergasted that we signed Mattison again. I'm for the move if it was no Cook and put him into a, you know, a running back by committee and let Ty Chandler shine. I am so excited to see a 4-3 guy running down the field, catching balls. I really excited about that. So I think this goes in more in the mold of, you know, hey, we're gonna have a running back committee and take the hot hand. However, you know, Cook's got value, you know, right? So I think my whole thought process of getting rid of Cook is we're gonna misuse a running back. Let's misuse a cheap one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I like Mattison the goal line. I think he was a better receiver than Cook. How many times do you see Cook fall on his ass trying to catch a ball? You know, so I mean, he had to be like running with the ball coming straight to him. It's not like he had bad hands. He had that awesome catch in the end zone that one game. I think it was it the Colts?
No, that was
one-handed,
Washington.
Right? That was
Washington. It was Washington.
Yeah,
it was an amazing catch, right? So I just don't know. But then the Buffalo game where he fell on his butt, and then we missed the goal line run. I mean, he could walk in, but he fell on his butt. Yeah, and then the next play we don't get in, and then a miracle happens and they fumble it. But yeah, we're gonna misuse a running back, running them up the middle. Let's misuse a cheaper one.
Right. I agree. Everybody in here, exactly what JD said. I see whoever hasn't liked the video. We are doing our Justin Jefferson rookie card giveaway like we do on every single live show. All we ask is for you to like this video and subscribe to our channels. Go check out Tanishka on Twitter at Tanishka with two. Is it, you have two eyes in there?
It's two.
I have it in the description. It's right below. You can look in there, but I know that's got to be annoying though. I'm assuming you like went in there and it's like, they didn't have your exact name,
so I just kept adding letters.
and we've already said Tanishka and Tanishka, and so now I don't even know what to call you anymore.
Tanishka, right?
And I apologize.
No, you're good.
But no, back to hashtag Skol in the comments. That's all everybody has to do for that. But back to this free agent stuff and the Dalvin Cook stuff. My guess, I still am thinking that we end up trading Dalvin Cook. I know people are cooling off on that. I think we have to do it. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me as far as going into the season with both of them. I thought there's two players going into this offseason for sure. Actually, maybe even three players that were our free agents that I thought were probably gone. Mattison was one of them. Garrett Bradbury was actually another one. Obviously, I think a lot of the centers, I didn't really like the free agents centers this draft. So I'm like, all right, I kind of get it, or this offseason. And then Jordan Hicks. So those were guys like I thought for sure, like, why would we keep them around really? And we re-signed all of them. So I'm
not as surprised on Jordan Hicks because if we got rid of both linebackers, what the hell? And he was a cheaper one. Yeah. And I argued not argued, but had a discussion about it. And I'm like, okay, so we get rid of Hicks, and what are we going to do? Go after another $6 million linebacker when we already got one? It's like, and with and I thought a little bit better about it because Flores says, 3-4 or 4-3, who are we playing? And he's going to use players, use their strengths and put them in situations. Great. Hicks would be great on rundowns, and he took a pay cut, so more power to him.
Right.
But I think
it's worth it now.
Everything in this offseason, this free agency period is still so weird because, like, obviously Harrison Smith, Zadarius Smith, Daniil Hunter, like nobody's really talking
Yeah.
about that, but all of
Yeah.
that's still up in the air. You don't know what's
He
going on
still
with
is
those guys. Where people are thinking, oh, we're looking towards 2024, but then we sign a guy to a 1-year deal in Marcus Davenport. So it's like, I mean, competitive rebuild is definitely what Kwesi's trying to do, and I know he has a plan, and he's a lot smarter than me. So I'm sitting here like my brain's just all over the place.
Yeah.
Kwesi trust. That's it. That's
But this is
all
what
you
you
gotta
want.
say.
And
This is
then
what
they
this
do
is-
the Cousins cap conversion, and then I just got more confused.
Yeah, I'm
And
like,
that's- and
say
that's the
16 million. Okay, I didn't know that was an option.
And I was going to
but-
segue
Yeah.
into that by saying, like, you know, Mattison contract this year. Can you pay both Delvin and Mattison? It's tough, but it's a lot easier after Kirk Cousins with the cap conversion saves us 16 million on the cap this year.
Right.
I know it pushes, what is it, 28.5 dead, even if he's not on the team next
Yeah.
year. We're then
Yeah.
18 after that, and then 6 after that, or something like that.
Well,
throughout 2025.
if he's apparently we get hit all in 1 year if he's not on the team next year. So 28 million.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, but
Okay.
then you don't owe him anything after next
Oh,
year.
Yeah, you wouldn't
okay.
owe him
Perfect.
anything.
Which, and we were talking before this kind of, it's best of both worlds. Like if he plays well this year and maybe we, you know, get to a Super Bowl and maybe lose it or win it, whatever, then you work out an extension possibly. And if not, you just both agree, go your separate ways, eat the cap hit when the cap's going to keep going up and you're going to have more money. You eat it then, and then you're out of the woods. I mean, if that's the plan, I would like to see a younger quarterback come in this year because I don't want to go into 2024 with, I like Nick Mullins, but I don't want Nick Mullins to be the week 1 starter. I don't want to have a season where we're just, you know, you draft a guy and then, but this guy's going to start all year long. And then 2 games in, he's out. The rookie comes in and then it's just, you know, a wash season. Sure, you kind of start to see the build there, but I don't really want that. I'd like it if we could get a guy this year. That's going to be tough because your only options are probably trading up to pick 3 or getting back in a 2nd round or 3rd round and grabbing a Hendon Hooker type. But I don't know. It's interesting. But the thing with the NFL, it never sleeps. And it's always exciting, and there's always things to talk about until like summer. But still, I don't know. But so far though, looking at what Kwesi's done, I like what he's done. I think he's made the team competitive this year. At least like because before this, people are like, well, you know, next year might just be a wash. But they've added enough pieces to where I think it's still going to be a good football team next year. I mean, we'll see because they're going to be up against the best of the best because they're going to get that first place schedule. But yeah. I like what he's done, and I'm kind of excited about 2023.
So we've basically signed with Ellefson. That was the big move, and the largest contract in history for a long snapper. We working on 5, 6, 7 free agents then because we also signed our kicker.
Yeah,
it's 7 free agents, and we're under the cap, and Harrison Smith is still on our team.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook is still on our team. I did not expect that.
No, I don't even know.
Alexander Mattison, that's 8 free agents, I think.
Mm-hmm. Who knows? Maybe Kwesi sat in the darkness for 4 days and thought about this and eventually came out of there with
the darkness retreat.
You know, I'm not going to re-sign Alexander Mattison. I'm not going to re-sign these guys. Comes out, you know what? I am going to re-sign these guys, I think.
But there's still moves we have to make. There's still definitely moves we have to make. I'm really worried about defensive tackle now. We have to have one of the worst defensive lines in the league now. Without Delvin Tomlinson, by far our best, we have Harrison Phillips, who's pretty solid, but outside of him, but not like that great. And outside of him, really nothing there. Especially rushing the quarterback. So that's something I think we for sure have to pay attention to. Otherwise, I don't know. I'm not liking that. So there's still moves that has to be done for us, whether that's in the draft or whatever. But there's not much out there for defensive tackle. So that's something I'm still worried about a little bit.
Absolutely. Jamie, I talked about it a bunch earlier that was kind of like one of my biggest concerns on this team, even if Delvin Tomlinson did come back, is just because outside of him on the defensive interior, we had Harrison Phillips, who's good, but he's not going to make an impact in the pass rush. And then you got younger guys. You got Asese out of Minnesota from last year. You got Kyrus Tonga mixing it, nose tackle a little bit there. Blacklock, but like a bunch of guys who just you haven't seen a ton from, you know?
And here's my thought process on this defensive line. I love the fact that we have Marcus Davenport, and he's a defensive end, really, truthfully, where he could play on third downs like Daniil Hunter did when he put his hand in the ground, and he could, but you still have a Bullard, on rundowns. I just feel like we just need that nose tackle, right? And I don't think Tonga is necessarily the guy. He's a sufficient, plug the hole type guy. Like we were missing a nose tackle. Okay, Tonga is good enough to, be a little bit splashy, but yeah, I think we really need to get after. I like Benton. I think I really like Benton and Watt out of Wisconsin. He's like a 3rd rounder. So I think we really got to hit a defensive line. And I did a poll, and everybody's my poll came back. Defensive line is the biggest hole on our team. So.
Yeah,
But now we filled holes. We filled the center. We still have a running back. We have a tight end. We have a little bit, another defensive line. We at least got 3 linebackers, or 4 actually, on our team. I'm like, yeah, if we came out of this draft with a nose tackle and a linebacker, I would be a really, good ones. I'd feel really good about it. And I think where we're drafting, we're capable of getting those 2 positions filled.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think also there's a lot to be seen because Friday is the deadline for Dalvin Cook, Zadarius Smith, and Harrison Smith. They have like different guarantees.
Yeah.
So I feel like if any of them are going to be moved, it's going to be before Friday. And I think Zadarius Smith, I thought was a lock to be traded or cut at some point. So maybe that happens soon. I just can't see him back next year, especially with Davenport now making basically what Smith was making this year. I don't know if you can afford those 2 and Hunter on his new contract, which is going to come probably in the next couple of weeks.
Right.
And then we have no idea what's going on.
Sure, we can. We're under the cap right now.
Hey, are we? I don't even know what's our cap looking like now.
I saw a report where it had to be done by the day.
I just don't know numbers.
Yeah.
It was like 3 million, like
3 million.
Well, now we had 6 million under the cap.
Alexander Mattison.
So yeah, we're right up against it now. But yeah,
we
have to make room for the
buying
rookie class. But
yeah,
Right.
But I mean, you got a lot of extensions you could do with that. Like Hawkinson extension would free up a lot. The O'Neal restructure is still there. But I still, and I don't know what's going on with Harrison Smith because we keep hearing things like yesterday they said that we were going to get a decision and then we just never heard anything. So I don't know what's going on there. I mean, I would think at this point that they're keeping him, but again, you can just never know. But those 3 decisions are really big and they have till Friday for that. So I feel like the roster really like takes shape after Friday because if they're going to be on the team or not.
Yeah.
But interior defensive line is like the easiest. That or wide receiver at this point are like the easiest positions to take at 23, I think.
Yeah.
Because you got like Elijah Cansey there, and then you got a lot of the times like on the mock draft, Zay Flowers just ends up falling to you. So it's like you can get either of those positions, and both are really important. I think both are the most important positions on both sides of the ball that they need at this moment. So they're pretty set in that. But I mean, there's a lot of question marks with the 3 players. That's probably going to change a lot.
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting to see who actually comes back.
Do you see a trade back option this year?
I wouldn't mind it. I mean, it depends on. They do need more picks. I think they have like 5 picks.
Yeah.
And no second rounders, which is kind of like because second rounders are pretty important.
Yeah. Second year not having one. Well, we got one last year, but I mean, I wouldn't mind a trade down because there is a lot of talent in this class. And like especially with the receivers, if the top couple are gone, there isn't a lot after that anyway. So you can probably trade down. There's a lot of good corners, and they probably need to draft one semi-high anyway.
Right.
Even with the Murphy move. So a trade down would be fine. I don't see them staying at 23, honestly. I totally could see a trade down, but I could also see a trade up if one of those QBs starts slipping because they've been interested in a couple of them. So
right.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what we were kind of saying. Like which I'd be cool with. I mean, I'm ready to, find the quarterback of the future or whatever. But I do think I'm more on the board of trading back and going after Hendon Hooker instead of going up and getting a guy like Levis or Anthony Richardson. Just so we can save some capital there.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was just about to do it. Jumping into this chat real quick.
We get a diva out there. Oh, there he is. There's the diva.
Purple Pocket Podcast. Y'all gonna let me comment or block me tonight? Not y'all. GG.
I think
we're not gonna block you. You guys block him yesterday?
he thinks he got blocked yesterday. I imagine it was at the time where we were talking about Kirk Cousins, so he must have been swearing. I don't know.
You broke the YouTube algorithm, right? with your top.
You got
with your
Dave. You got some secret YouTube. You got some secret YouTube moderators on your channel or something.
I have no idea. I've not blocked a single person.
No way. He'll block me. I guess we ain't blocking anybody in here unless it's like worth blocking, I guess. But definitely talking bad about Kirk Cousins is, I'll post those comments up here instead of block. Good vid rap. Shelby Harris still floating around. Yeah, that is actually a good option. Especially right now. We just need a body there. It's like getting Murphy or anybody there that we just need some sort of presence that is better than what we have right now, because it's that big of a deal. Skol Fellows. Lemmy Smith, our focus, what's going on, Lemmy Smith? Our focus needs to be in the trenches. We were weak on both sides against good teams. It's interesting because definitely on defensive tackle, 100%. On offensive side, we know what our tackles are. Our tackles are good. Our guards is still kind of, the jury's out there. Bradbury, we bring back. It's not as big of a concern without him, I guess. But obviously, it's just the same as last year. So it is still a concern interior wise.
I kind of get the feeling that, I feel like Bradbury and Cleveland at left guard, if he's going to stay at a guard, I feel like those two are definitely more meant for like a run first team, because I don't feel like either of them are the best pass blockers. Like I like Ezra Cleveland, but A, I think he wants to play tackle because tackle is where the money is. And B, I just don't know if he has like the size or the anchor to be a good guard in a pass happy offense, is at least my opinion on it. And maybe that's part of the issue is, Bradbury, I think a lot of his problems, like, yeah, he hasn't been great his whole career, but I think the guards he's played next to definitely haven't helped.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. That's one thing. And people are talking about,
for me with Ed Ingram, he is still all the potential in the world. And,
right. He still could.
And I don't think he had a bad season. Some people think he's get rid of him. I'm like, what?
Not yet. No.
He was improving as the season went on.
Yeah.
He was improving for sure. Besides stepping on Kirk's foot a lot,
twice.
He was, besides that, he was definitely improving.
Where his
first year as a full-time, a rookie full-time starter. Like, of course you're going to have.
When people were doing stunts is when he failed. And I think 2 years of the same line in a row will help out a lot. Familiarity with the blocking scheme, get a better running game, do something here. I think getting that tight end Oliver is going to help quite a bit. Yeah, I don't know. It would have been, I wanted Bradbury gone just so we could probably take a swing. Like Casey, you want to get a new quarterback, take a swing at a quarterback. Jamie, you want to take a swing at a quarterback. I want to take a swing at a center because our interior line has been our problem for, I don't know, 10 years. 10 years.
Right. Well, right here. Who do you think Kwesi and KOC were looking at the Minnesota Pro Day? And Justin jumped in with John Michael Schmitz. I would have loved John Michael Schmitz on this football team.
Well, again, the Garrett Bradbury thing, like people are saying, is like a 1 year. It's basically a 1 year contract. So we could definitely.
Isn't that what a lot of these like I heard the Byron Murphy contract is very similar. To
I don't know what's going on, man. I'm getting more confused every time. Every year it gets more and more confused.
I wish I was like a cat.
I think for like Murphy specifically though, it's because of his back problems. That's also one of the reasons we got him cheap. It's not like a lingering thing. I don't think it was just a one-time injury, but if that does have issues or if that hinders him this year, because he didn't play like the last 9 games of the season, something like that. So if that,
they said something like after the 9th game, like he got hurt like in the 9th game or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and same with like Davenport in a way. Like I know that is just a 1 year deal, but like he also has had like injury issues, like a lot with the Saints. So if he can't prove anything in this 1 year, then like you'll probably draft next year. But and if he can, he'll probably get an extension. So
we had dead cap hit of $3.5 million with Murphy, just so you know, on 24.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. I like the betting on young players who've had really good draft profiles, athletic scores, and everything that have just like had injuries or
and good seasons. Like both Davenport and Murphy, they both had excellent seasons last 2021. So and they're 25 and 26. So it's kind of like they still are high upside, but they also are good. Like they're good. They're not excellent. Like we still have to worry about corners for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think Murphy comes in and he's just like that Patrick Peter. He definitely isn't going to be a vet like Patrick Peterson. So I still think that's like an area that we have to focus on going into the draft. And even I wouldn't mind even grabbing another guy in free agency if we could. I know Slay, we're not going to, I don't even know. I can't even say we're not going to afford anybody anymore because I don't know how any of this works. But I know Slay's out there now, which would be crazy. There's that thing with Eagles and Justin Jefferson last year, and you're just like Slay's in my head now. So that would be crazy if something like that happened. I don't think that would happen, but I don't think we're done yet as far as corners for sure.
And I think it's funny, like a lot of people, like I've seen a lot of people questioning what Kwesi's been doing so far, but he's doing everything he should. Getting rid of, like, it sucks, you know, it sucks see some of these older like players we've watched for so many years go, but he's gotten rid of them. He's replaced them with young, cheaper upside talent to where if they succeed here, you have them in house, you can extend them. So I think he's been doing everything that he should be doing as a general manager of this team. He let it go for one season, saw what the weaknesses were, and he's addressing it. And the big weakness was defense. So what did he do? He got younger and he got faster at this point. And there's still more to do. So
I just want to jump in here again. Everybody who's in here, we have 22 people in here. I think we only have one entry for this giveaway. Hashtag Skol in the comment, just like the video. That's all we ask. How many likes do we have so far?
We have 9 on our end. We have 11, 9. We have 11 viewers on our side right now.
All right, we're policing.
We need some more likes. We need some more likes. We need some more hashtags. Right now we have 1. So hey, if we only have 1, then and it's Paul who has 1.
There we go, Jim. Welcome.
There we go. There we go, Jim. Hop in there. Dylan, what's going on, Dylan? We'll do some shout outs here. I know JD said mock draft. Maybe we should do one of those soon. One of these live streams coming up. Those are always fun. I already said what's up to Dylan. Who else we got in here? Hey, Skol, TY, what's going on?
What do you got going on with the profile picture there, man?
And Eddie Brewer. What's that?
I don't know what he's got going on with the profile picture.
I didn't even see that. I clicked it. I like it either way. Especially if you hashtag Skol and like this video, then I'll really like it.
Tanisha, was it you that was doing a lot of posts about Murphy and like his matchups?
Yeah, I went on.
Why don't you talk a little bit about that, because you had a lot of good.
That's the big one, man. We needed that, so let's get some insight for sure.
Yeah, Tanisha was on it.
Let's go.
He one of the coolest things that I found was 2021 when Cooper Kupp had that insane season. He was averaging Kupp was averaging 115 yards per game almost, and they played the Cardinals 3 times because division and the playoffs. And in those 3 games, Murphy allowed 44 yards per game to Kupp, which is insane if you think about what Kupp did to literally everybody else with 115 yards. So that was really good. And then he did really well versus Devontae Adams this last year. He allowed 15 yards on 5 targets. It was 2 catches, I think. And I've been seeing a lot of people posting some of the all 22 from the Vikings Cardinals game this past year. And he was doing well against Justin Jefferson. Obviously Jefferson got his yards, but it was on other guys mostly. But there's a lot to like with this. Oh, and fun fact, Murphy has never given up a catch to DJ Moore. So hopefully that continues.
Hey, let's go.
That's what we like to see.
If Fields can get it to him, you know.
If it's big if.
So
that's why we got her on. That's why we brought her on. She brings the knowledge.
I know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's so many young wide receivers for Green Bay, so I'm assuming none of them have scored on him either.
Probably not. I don't even know if they played, but yeah.
Yeah, probably not. But hopefully Jordan Love just can't get the ball to the receivers anyway, so it won't even matter. Right? That's what has to happen because he can't come in.
Can't do 3 Hall of Fame QBs in a row.
No, I'm done. No, I can't.
No way.
No.
I just don't think I could handle it.
No.
I'm curious in the chat, what do you guys think about Alexander Mattison re-signing? Does it muddy the water a little bit, or does it give us flexibility? I don't know. Negotiating. I think it kind of shoots a hole in negotiations with other teams since we signed him, and it's you're going to get rid of him anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't see us having Dalvin. I think it makes it obvious that Dalvin Cook's either going to get cut or traded. If there's actually people interested, then I don't see why we wouldn't have already traded him or why won't we trade him. But it seemed up till this point, it seemed really obvious to me that we are not keeping him around at 13 million a year. So I think something's going to happen. And like what Dave said, that might hinder our chances of getting a trade off if they know that we probably aren't going to keep him around. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess what's your guys' thoughts on all that stuff again?
This could be a pre trade deadline move. This could be after the draft and someone doesn't come out with the running back, or it could be right before the season starts and in camp. It could, I do not let him go unless I got compensation. I don't know. That's the way I feel. Because we're gonna save $6 million.
Yeah, that is. I keep forgetting about that. I forget.
Well, you also save all 14 mil next year. Like, I get that next year, if you cut him, you save like around 12.5 million, but you're paying him everything this year. Because I just don't see Dalvin Cook taking a pay cut. I think it was already reported that he wasn't going to.
Right.
Yeah.
I think at some point you're just gonna have to take the dead cap, and they've been accumulating most of it this year, so you might as well.
Well, like next year it'll only be 3 million, right? The cap hit will be the dead cap would be 3 million.
Yeah, but you're paying him this year, like the 13 mil. So it's like it just really depends on if you're okay paying him this year, because I just don't see him taking.
Oh, you're right. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why
I was okay with keeping him one extra year if they were going to get rid of him next year. But if they're re-signing Mattison, I'm not sure I want to keep Dalvin anymore.
Why would it's like, why does Mattison? I guess I don't know. He tested the market and it wasn't there. I don't know. And when I talked to his dad says he loves playing in Minnesota. He loves his teammates, Dalvin Cook and the other running back.
CJ Ham.
Yeah, CJ Ham is a big influence on him.
Yeah, dude, keeping Mattison makes it a lot.
No, but he likes CJ Ham too. I about all the running backs.
We got to talk about that contract too.
Whoa, I love it. Pay him more, double the money.
Whoa.
Jamie went to high school with
Northern boys got to stay on the team.
Give CJ more money. I want $6 million fullback reported by me. Let's go. But no, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Is he paid more than a long snapper?
What's that? Yeah, he gets paid more than a long snapper.
Does he get paid more than a long snapper? Okay.
He definitely does. He definitely
does. It's like $3.5 million, right?
For CJ, yeah, things like that. Yeah, cheap, almost free.
If you look at it, I don't know what Madison's cap hit is yet, but CJ Ham, Dalvin Cook, and Alexander Mattison should combine all their cap hits. It's probably almost 20 mil.
20 million
so
for a backfield on a passing offense.
Yeah. I know KOC said he did want to run the ball more this year, but that run game was really bad last year, even when they did run it. So I don't know if the solution is just bringing back literally everybody, like from Bradbury to all the running backs.
Yeah, we bring back a run first center. Our big running back. We go sign a tight end that's PFF graded the second best blocker in the league,
and that's it. We bring in another blocker.
We're running the ball this year, guys.
Yeah,
Zimmer's back.
We're not messing around with the blocking this year. We'll see what happens with the interior line at least. But every other position, we're paying money for that. Yeah. Ain't messing around. What's going on? To Evil, to Hopes. Again, everybody. Hashtag Skol in the comments. We have 26 people who like our videos, all that good stuff.
4 Andrew.
Just 4. There's 26 people in here. Hashtag Skol. Come on, everybody.
Do you not like free shit?
It's free shit, guys.
Easy. Come on,
you got shit.
You got to take.
I got 13 likes on my end. 4 of them are me. So let's go.
Come on, let's get those video likes up. Everything in here. We all know you're in here. There we go. Let's go.
Hashtag Skol.
Sarah's going to win 3 times in a row. I can already feel it. She's won the last 2 in a row.
Yeah, listen to JD. It's free.
Liking's free. Subscribing's free. All that stuff's free, man. We appreciate it big time. 6 Shooter Nation Gaming. What's going on, man? What is going on?
And Jamie will autograph it for you.
Yeah, I mean, it probably will devalue it.
Oh, it will definitely devalue it.
But hey, maybe someday, maybe someday. I don't know. Depending on how many of you guys subscribe and like our channel, maybe this will get big enough where my autograph will be worth a couple cents or something.
So Tanishka, are you getting any schooling done when you're tweeting all day long?
I'm on spring break. This is
spring break.
Yeah.
All right, there it
timing.
is.
Good timing. Good timing.
Having spring
Wow.
break right when free agency starts is so perfect. So we're chilling.
Nice.
Where are you going? I'm going to Florida. I'm going to Mexico. Oh, Tanisha, I'm gonna tweet
Yep, in Minnesota,
all
in
spring
snowy
break.
Minnesota.
Or are you back? You back in town for spring break?
Yeah, I am
Oh,
back home.
nice.
So
Cool.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's I mean, a lot more exciting than I was expecting. I was expecting a few moves, and like then and then you hear you hear on Twitter like Quasi's going to be aggressive this free agency period, and then like not a lot happens early on in the day, and you're like, oh, aggressive? What are we doing? We're not going to do anything. Then they sign the blocking tight end. You're like, okay, going to be one of those off seasons.
And then you go look at his video from college, and then you go look at his highlights, and he's got all these crazy ass catches, and he's huge. And
But that's the thing. It kind of fits
like,
with the defense. A younger guy who maybe wasn't utilized properly.
Ran a 4.6.
KOC in with the Rams love 2 tight end sets, so maybe he thinks there's something he can unlock with this guy. Just like he kind of Jefferson was already good, but he unlocked something else with Jefferson last season.
And we won't get it confused. He wears the same number as Irv Smith Jr. 84. So there you have it.
Whoa. We gotta stop that. We've had too many chances of people wearing 84, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, we gotta stop having our tight end wear Randy Moss's number.
I don't want to see that anymore.
No, tight end should not be wearing 84 going forward.
Randomly, I know we're not talking about him right now. But I'm going to bring him up. I was watching the final episode of The Voyage the other day, and they had a little thing on there where they were talking to Lewis Seen during the Packer game. I cannot wait for that kid to get back. I think he's going to.
I'm excited for him, man.
I think he's going to have a really good season this year. I'm pumped to see what he can do.
4-3 safety, man. It's there. It's there.
And you just listen to the guy talk. He's got a great attitude. I can't wait to get him back on the field.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see what he has, especially
stack bodies, man.
We need him, man. Stack bodies. We need him. What's going on, Skol Mafia? So we'll switch to some quarterbacks. Tanishka, which quarterback do you want the Vikings to take in the draft, or do you want Lamar? And I guess start with where you at with Kirk Cousins, and what do you think? What is your Kirk Cousins
She's breaking up
draft? Do you want a quarterback this year? What's your whole quarterback scenario going on right now?
I mean, I don't think that they need to do another extension. I'm not sure if this is true with the cap, but I think that even if they extend him, that dead cap does stay. I'm not sure if that's true, but then you're paying Kirk Cousins way too much money next year if you do extend him. But I don't know. Salary cap's weird.
Yeah, the dead cap will be there, and it's I think 10 years. It's 10 million next year. So if he signs, let's say he signs 40 million or whatever. Well, he's gonna be 50 against the cap because if you don't mess with the bonus and spreading shit out. But he's got $10 million cap hit will be added to whatever cap hit he signs for next year.
Here's what you got to do. Tweet it wrong. Say Kirk needs to go, and Spinoza will correct you. That's all you got to do. That's the key to learning what's going on with Kirk.
But honestly, I'm against another extension. I think that this was a nice last year goodbye tour, whatever you want to call it. But I think either this year or next year, just go get the guy you want. I would prefer this year because I do think that there's a lot of value in sitting behind Kirk for a year.
Yeah.
And I think that whoever the guy is could learn a lot. And honestly, out of the top 4, I mean, I haven't really watched enough to really choose one, but I really like Anthony Richardson just because of the traits. I mean, obviously it's a big gamble because he's super raw and he's not really proven in college. He didn't have great college stats or anything. So there's a huge gamble there, but if you want to bet on someone like Kevin O'Connell developing those traits, then it could really work. So I'd love to go move up for one if they're slipping. I wouldn't want to move up to 3 or something. I don't think that's worth it just because they have no draft picks and the team they need players next off season. I mean, I don't know if they have a lot of cap space, but they have half a roster to fill. So they need bodies, literal young good bodies. So I'm not saying sell everything right now, but if someone's slipping and you like them, then also go ahead and move up. But even if they do wait till next year, that's fine with me. Because I think it is valuable to have a roster as good as possible for the rookie to come in to, just because you don't want to do what the Bears did to Fields last. Like, whatever you think about Justin Fields is like one thing, but that roster did not help him at all.
Right.
So I would say like either this year or next year you have to get your guy, and I think they will.
I think you have Tanisha, I think you have a great outlook on it. I mean, get the guy, right? If he's there. But in the situation where we're thinking we're in right now, is that you got to get in the top, I don't know, 8 to get those 4 guys. But you're
I would say top. I would say top 4 at this point, honestly.
I don't know. I have a feeling that
out of the top 4, you think they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4?
I don't think Indy's taking one.
Well, I would just say look at it this way: if the Panthers stick and pick, they're probably going
to be the top 2 for sure. 2 are gone.
The Texans are going quarterback. You know, the Colts at 4 probably going to go quarterback. So who's to say a team that really likes the guy isn't going to jump up to pick 3 and get the one that's not going to be there?
I think the Cardinals will trade down and someone will jump to 3. I just don't think the Colts are. I mean, obviously it could be smoke, but I've just seen a lot from Colts beat writers about how they don't think there's a guy in this class that could be that guy. Okay. Maybe that's because they know that they're going to have the last one out of the top 4 if it really comes down to it. But it's also the draft and crazier things have happened. So like if someone is slipping, I would go up. I guess like after the Colts, the only real threat before 10 is Atlanta, because I don't think the Raiders are going to get one because they've committed a lot of money to Jimmy G and a lot of that's guaranteed. So if they get to 8 or 9 and you like them enough, regardless of who it is, then I would be okay moving up. But they have to get one either this year or next.
Casey and Jamie, can I continue to compliment Tanishka on her thought process before you jump it down?
Yeah. I do want to jump into something else, but I think that's well deserved.
So, one of the points I brought up before, would I want Kirk Cousins and 3 first-round draft picks, or would I want a rookie and no draft picks, first-round draft picks for the next 3 years? So your thought process is go get him if he falls. And my thought process is, well, you definitely go get one next in 2024. Prepare for that. Be prepared for that. And we're forgetting the Tennessee guy. I mean, 27 touchdowns and 2 picks, 4,000, almost 4,000 yards, and he's done it 2 years in a row.
Right.
He's the only guy. Outside of the top 2 quarterbacks, the other 2 guys, Richardson and Levis, they've had like one good year. Right. And honestly, Richardson isn't that great of a year. He just a physical freak and shows amazing talent.
Right.
But he's only played like 13, 14 games. Now that the quarterback from Tennessee, name escapes me. I did a video on him. Hendon Hooker. He seems to have like he's a little bit good. He's good at everything, not great at everything. He's run for 700 yards. He's thrown for 3,700. He's got he's only thrown 5 picks in the last 2 years. So he is a guy.
30 touchdowns to 2 interceptions last year.
Yeah,
he has an ACL injury though. But that's what besides that, like you take away the ACL injury, he's my third.
He's probably a first rounder for sure.
Draft. Yeah, easily. I think he probably goes up above Levis and Richardson in my opinion if he never got hurt.
In his age, because he'll be
his age. But even Levis is 35 and a half. So
25.
Hendon Hooker's a year and a half.
Wait. How old
was he? 35?
35. 23 and a half.
I hope not. Okay.
All right. 23 and a half.
We got Brandon Wheaton out here.
So, right. So a year and a half older. So he's not really that much older than Levis, where Richardson, Shroud, and Bryce Young are all 21. So those guys are definitely younger. I'm going to bring up some of these. Rodgers coming next year. Who you kidding? I mean, I don't know. I'm not betting against it.
It
sounds like too perfect of a scenario coming from the Jets as the old Packers franchise quarterback. The
reason why we got Favre is we had uncapped 2 seasons in a row. So I don't think we're going to get $50 million cap hits coming our way.
Give me Hooker or McKee. KOC can turn those guys into studs. Again, I really like Hooker. McKee, I'm a hard no. He doesn't run at all. He does no mobility really. He's Kirk Cousins all over again. I want a guy that can run the ball. That's it. like at least do something with his legs. Obviously there's still a chance a pocket passing quarterback can come in here and be one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I want to go a different direction 100% with that. I'd be really disappointed if we used a top 3 pick on another quarterback that doesn't know how to run the ball or use his legs at all.
Yeah.
Personally, so I don't want McGee at all. So Skol Mafia, no way 4 in a row. All right, this is the one I was looking for. Williams, a super stud. Someone said give there's so many comments I'm going through. Someone said give 4 first-round picks for Caleb Williams going to next year. I'm 100% on that. I think 4 is a lot, but Caleb Williams is seriously so much, in my opinion, is so much better than any of the quarterbacks in this draft that I think he's a no-brainer, and I don't think we'd be able to do it. Someone else is going to want him, I think.
I'm with you, but the
up?
team picking number 1 is not moving out of number 1 if Caleb
if they don't need
it. See Bears again.
Because
we're wishful.
The Bears are a super anomaly though, because usually the team picking number 1 desperately needs or wants a QB. Like the Bears believe in Fields, and usually that just never happens where the number 1 pick has their guy or that they think.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully this year, like obviously I'm just hopeful. So I'm like, all right, Houston gets Bryce Young. Houston's still going to suck with Bryce Young, but Bryce Young shows enough potential. They go into there's a possibility they could be the worst team, or even the
Arizona.
Colts. I don't see the Colts, but Arizona potentially. Yeah. They're not going to go. They pay Kyler Murray tons of money. So I'm just hopeful. Like there's a chance some of the, especially mostly Houston, I'm thinking, or Carolina or Houston, assuming Carolina pick Shroud or Bryce Young, either of those teams. I think those teams will go
Bears
into next
do have
season.
their pick though, so that would really suck.
Oh yeah,
I don't know, man. I just think whatever's gonna.
I forgot about that one.
Caleb Williams is gonna cost like your entire franchise to move up and go get.
He's gonna be worth it
if he ends up being that guy even after this season.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. It's just all of us want him. He's like the first. You look at him and it's like he's for sure it. Yeah. I personally, I know West or East Coast Gridiron, he says he thinks he's gonna suck next year, and he knows what he's talking about. But I'm like, I don't know, man. I watched Jordan Addison, who also is a guy that is kind of dropping, and I think he's my number 1 wide receiver going into this draft. So if he was to fall to 23, I would take him all day. But when you watch his Jordan Addison, when you watch his highlights and stuff, you can't help but look at Caleb Williams. Like the whole time you're like, whoa, what? Like Caleb Williams. I'm trying to watch this Jordan Addison highlights.
Hey, Jamie, don't we still owe Michael O a card?
Yeah, Michael O. We do from a long time ago. Hey, what's going on, Michael O? We've been waiting for you, man. Hit us up on Twitter
Madison?
Or Instagram or something. Just if I can sign Madison.
Dude, guys,
thanks
we
for
just signed
Madison.
Hey, Michael, it happened like 2 minutes before we went on the air. So yeah, we've been talking about him. Hey, what do you think about it? What do you think about the signing, man? Put it in the chat.
And hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, or something so we can get you your card, man. I got your card. I've been saving it for you for like a month now.
Yeah, got to get there we go. Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Cousins gets injured for the first time. Mullins leads us to a 2-15 record. Hey, man, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. I don't know. I really don't want to suck to have to get our quarterback, but I do like it. Caleb Williams is one of those guys where you're just like, he's it. So whoever gets him is going to have their franchise.
But I just feel like this. I just feel like this Vikings team has a floor of 8 and 9, like 7 and 10.
Yeah. Oh, no matter what.
Cousins, that team has ever won like under 7 games. Like when he started I don't know if that's true, but I'm pretty sure
I think he was 7 and 9. Is 7 and 9 is last year at Washington.
Yeah. So
the years he started.
Yeah,
he's been.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Isn't that same guy that said Moe from his top back? And
he's talking about Dante from East Coast Gridiron. I wasn't gonna say anything.
I had him as number 5. I liked him. I like.
Well, it's funny we did that draft and he's still there in the 6th round.
Yeah, he's going to be there late. He's going to be there late, but he's somebody that he's just a bowling ball. He has a skill that I don't think that he does better than anyone else in this draft, and that is just running players over and being a powerful running back. So I think he separates. We were talking about this before, obviously, actually literally before this video. This is before the Mattison news, but we were like, all right, if we don't have Mattison next year or Dalvin Cook next year, if we went into the season after that with Chandler and we got Mo, I think they would complement each other so perfectly. And that was like the scenario. Obviously, that scenario is out the window big time. I don't know. We might have like 5 running backs going into next season, but
yeah,
I do like him. Do I think there's no ways, dude? Bijan Robinson is crazy good. Like he's the Caleb Williams of running backs.
Yeah. He's probably one of the top 5 most talented players in the draft, but positional value. So he's not going to go as high as he probably could.
Right. That's what I was saying. I was like, man, if it was like McCaffrey's draft or, we've seen it more with like Adrian Peterson, McCaffrey. Ever since then, it's dropped dramatically. Even Barkley. Where did Barkley go? He went top 10, right?
I think.
Yeah, number 2.
Yeah, number 2. So, but now everybody's like not doing that at all, to the point where I'm like, but Bijan Robinson has potential to be a top 5 player in this entire draft on skill level. But still, he's still questioned. I think he'll for sure go in the first round, but he's questioned to even go in the first round. Similar to like we saw Breece Hall last year.
Right. Well,
and those guys are so talented. They do help their teams.
Did a running back go in the first round last year?
I think Breece Hall went right in the beginning of the second.
Did Walker go in the first round?
No. Breece Hall was the first running back.
But then when did the Seahawks draft Rashad Penny? Because he was a first round pick. Was that 3 years ago?
He was like a couple of years ago. 18.
Yeah,
19?
that was.
Is it 18 or 19? Okay.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, now I don't even know who the last.
Najee Harris and Travis Etienne 2 years ago.
Yeah. It's just going, and Bijan Robinson seems so much more talented than them. But it's the running backs, obviously, it's devaluing fast.
The steal of the draft was Ty Chandler. So
yeah, Ty Chandler's that guy.
You never know. Yeah.
I would love a Mattison Chandler core for years.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, I think that's a great combo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say so.
I think that's what we're gonna see. I think
so too.
I don't think Dalvin. How do you can't?
It's just so anti-analytics to pay a running back, fullback room that much money when you're a pass-heavy team. So I don't think Cook's gonna.
I know you save $6 million. That is like that's the thing, $6 million. But then why do you re-sign Mattison? So that's just what confuses me. I think.
But I'm definitely starting to buy into that rumor we heard earlier in the week, where it is more of a trade Dalvin, keep Mattison type situation. So
yeah,
I don't know.
That's my guess.
And I brought that up to his dad. I'm like, hey, there's still a situation here that we actually get rid of Cook and keep your son. And he was like, yeah, we know that's kind of out there. And then obviously SK is friends with Mattison. So, hey, the window started to get like more and more open with him. It seemed like the closer we got to free agency, and damn, just shocks me.
And I think another thing too, like keeping Mattison, trading Cook. Mattison hasn't had that many carries, like obviously because he's been behind Cook and they've used Cook as a workhorse with Zimmer and stuff. So Madison's still pretty fresh, and I don't know how old he is. I want to say like 24, 25, maybe 26. I don't know, but for that age to just not have that much like wear and tear on your body is like a good thing. Like it's just a 2-year deal anyway. So if they want to use him as a workhorse now, he's definitely healthy and capable enough to be. He's like not that worn down.
Yeah, absolutely.
24 years old.
Oh, even better.
Who?
He's 24 years old.
Madison.
Nice.
I'm looking.
I did not know that.
He just had his birthday too, I think.
Okay.
He come into the league at like 19 or 20.
Yeah. But Michael, thoughts on Tanner McGee versus Hendon Hooker? It's funny because I was just talking about that. But I'm Hendon Hooker all the way. Tanner McGee is going to be another statue quarterback. I don't want that. So if that's something that you want, doesn't mean Tanner McGee doesn't come in here and be a great pocket passing quarterback.
Doesn't Tanner McGee just scream Patriots quarterback?
Yeah, pretty much. There's some teams that just thrive on that, and we've tried it enough with Sam Bradford, Kirk Cousins. You can go on and on and on about these statue quarterbacks. I'm just ready to change that.
What I like about Hooker is he's accurate, right? And he also throws off script. I've seen him roll out to his left and just throw a sidearm throw, hit a guy running up the seam in stride. And I think he's going to be a starter in this league. I do.
Yeah, I definitely.
When I see him, I'm thinking Teddy Bridgewater, but more athletic, and he throws a better deep ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's
Which
what I
isn't
thought about.
super hard to do with Teddy. He just didn't have the arm. I love Teddy, but
Yeah.
that was his one thing. He didn't have the big arm.
Well,
But
it's
I
not
do
the,
like Hendon
and it's
Hooker.
not that necessarily the big. He literally was overthrowing people. Like he pushes the ball and he's throwing from here instead of over the top, and he just couldn't drop the ball in the bucket. And that's the way that was my big problem. And I was watching a game. He had 3 picks this game, his worst game of his career. And I was watching it in the fan club here in Fort Lauderdale with his dad. And I'm
Dang.
like, and we were like,
His dad's
no one wanted to
pretty
say
good, dude.
anything. He's having the worst game of his career, and his dad's sitting right there. It's like
dude.
crazy.
See, that was Teddy's like he's just like that good person and stuff too. Like I was huge Teddy.
Yeah, I wanted to see him succeed. I think
Right.
everybody
It's
liked
that
him.
unfortunate what happened to him, man. That's
And he had such a good
craziest thing ever.
preseason that year,
Dude,
too.
I was
I
that
know,
was
I
one
was
of the
so
most
excited.
hyped I was before that season, and just like that's the worst thing that you can hear is just your quarterback goes down in an injury like that. Because that ended up being that's 2017, right? Right before it ended up still being that season, right?
No,
So still, it was
the
it
year
the year
before.
after?
We won
Matthew
5
Bradford
straight
year.
with Bradford, and then we went on to ended up 8-8.
Yeah.
So it was
right.
2016.
That's right.
Absolutely too. I do not want Lamar Jackson on this team.
I
So
don't
yeah,
either.
I'll bring this up. So I personally, I would take Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson wins more games with us than Kirk Cousins. Personally, though, you got Kirk Cousins on the books for this year, 28 million cap hit or whatever next year. Well, you'll have to give at least 2 first-round picks or whatever to the Ravens for Lamar Jackson. So now you have Kirk Cousins on the books this year and Lamar Jackson coming in this year. I don't think we do that, and I also believe that our offense is made for a guy who's pass first compared to run first.
Well, and that's why, like, if we did somehow end up with Richardson, that's I've said it before. Like, I would hope we get to a point where he can sit long enough to where we can develop him into Kevin O'Connell's offense and not have to form an offense around him like Baltimore did with Lamar Jackson right off the get-go. Because basically they made the offense around Lamar and his skill set, so he never actually had to become a pure pocket passer who can move around. You know, you kind of base it off that running quarterback who uses that to his ability.
No, he was amazing at it and MVP because of it. I'm not gonna. I think Lamar Jackson is I think he's so talented, and I do think like he's MVP for a reason. And he's 26 years old right now. He's still really young, so I'm not gonna take away anyway with that. I think there's teams I could win with him for sure. If the talent is right around him and stuff like that. But I think he's an RG3 offense.
I think he's an RG3 that didn't get hurt as early. You're going to start seeing those injuries rack up, and it's
he's a really special player, but like it would never work with our situation and where this team is.
And you have Justin Jefferson. You need a guy that can make sure to get him the ball.
He's missed 10 games the last 2 years. He played 12 in 12 games.
And that
hasn't thrown over 3,000 yards but one time. And everybody's talking about playoffs. Can't win a game in the playoffs. He's won 1 game in the playoffs too. He's like 1-5 too. So it's but he's early. He's young. He's also a running quarterback. He's not gonna have as long a career.
Right.
Yeah, and he's already missing games. The biggest thing though is, does he fit our offense? Does he fit our Does he fit our philosophy?
And that's my biggest thing. Like if we didn't have JJ, probably if we just didn't have JJ, I would be more I would be more down for that idea. I think
you cover up a lot of flaws if you did not have if you have a weak a weak running game, very few receivers. It's like,
and JJ would be the best, by far the best wide receiver for Lamar Jackson.
Oh, for sure, and maybe that would help.
But still, and that would help Lamar
no
Jackson. It could be enough, but still, you have like the best wide receiver in the league. I don't know. To me, I'd want to see us use that.
It'd be fun to watch. I'd be excited if he was on our team. I'd be like, yeah, cool. It'd be fun to watch. Do I think we'll be better? No, I don't think we'll be better.
Yeah,
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know how. I'm not.
How much is it going to cost? Is that determined yet? How much is it going to cost?
He's going to cost a lot. And he
declined 133 by 3 from Baltimore, which is almost 45 million, fully guaranteed.
Yeah,
so,
45 million.
Yeah, fully guaranteed.
For 3, he wants more than 3 years probably, but he's wants 5 years completely guaranteed, and he's a running quarterback.
Which the Watson contract was insanely stupid.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah,
like ruin the quarterback market for everybody.
That's the only way he was going to Cleveland, and they did it. But
right, exactly. So
now that now that our quarterback is below 13.5% of the cap, we are now eligible to win the Super Bowl. So there you have it. We're winning the Super Bowl this year.
All right, if
Because,
that happens, then
even though Mahomes broke it this year, he did it in the 16 and a half
Mahomes.
or whatever.
Yeah,
but
Mahomes.
we're below the
Let's just go trade for
13.5.
Mahomes. Why don't we do that?
Yeah.
We're below the
help everyone
13.5, so we can win the Super Bowl now.
But like the thing is though, it's like I would not want a guy like Lamar, but hell, I would pay $50 million a year to get Jalen Hurts on this team. 100%. Because I think
He's
Jalen
a
Hurts,
really proven pocket passer.
he is, who can use his legs to move when he needs to.
Well, and
He's sure he was hurt at the end of the season, but
He was
you know,
fine in the playoffs, so I
right,
mean,
for sure. Absolutely.
And to Casey's point, that's a good example of Hurts is, I don't know, you didn't see a lot of the passing stuff from him as soon as he came into this league. So he's an example of someone that I don't think they kind of forced a passing game around him, you know, especially this year when they went out and got AJ Brown and they already had Smith and Goddard, whatever, however you say his name. So he's someone that had to pass, and you saw him improve as a passing quarterback.
I want to see it a second year, but yeah, I agree. He had an amazing year. He missed, I don't know how many games he missed, but again, we still have a little bit of the threat there of him,
right?
As he has design runs,
a lot.
He didn't run a lot against us in our game, but that's because our secondary was such shit that he could just throw it anywhere he wanted.
But that's another thing too, though. He has a good offensive line and two really solid receivers. I think I saw David Ditter mention in the comments earlier. Could you imagine if like that team gets a Bijan Robinson? Even though now they've lost a lot of players, or like they've lost some defensive linemen to free agency, so they're gonna need some help there. But
I do have a question. Which is a bigger screw up? A fumble without getting hit in the Super Bowl, or 4th and 8 in the first round of the playoffs?
4th and 8.
That's a bigger screw up. 4th, 8, and 8,
yeah,
or
just because
a fumble not getting hit in the playoffs.
Just because it was in the middle of the game.
Hurts made that entire game. He was phenomenal.
Yeah,
so.
almost that was the worst mistake he made the entire year.
Yeah,
but
probably.
that's the point. That's the point.
That was
at the most important spot in the entire year.
They were up 2 scores when that happened. And
still, the Eagles, I would say,
let him back in the game.
Still,
I would still put that
season ended.
Yeah.
It all the key to this is how do you feel about Kirk Cousins?
For both,
that's going to change
ended.
your answer. Let's not got enough Kirk Cousins talk around here. Enough comments, people bashing each other. I'm done with it. Let's move on. Let's talk about something different.
Kirk Cousins, man. That's the best thing, though. It just makes conversating so easy.
Yeah, but it's all boring. It's stuff I've heard a million times. Talk about something different for once.
Yeah, they're still up, though. I mean, Eagles definitely had a chance to win that game regardless. I didn't even stop. They had a chance to win that game regardless of that fumble happening. We literally lost that game because
I just asked the question. That was a good question.
That was a good question. And even a better answer. I'm just kidding. All right. Anyways, so we'll move on from the Kirk Cousins. It's hard, man. That's what look at the comments right now. It's just gonna go into quarterback stuff. It's just gotta. But at this point, I mean, you know, we got this 16 million back towards the cap space because of I think Kirk Cousins agreeing to all that stuff. So I think that was a pretty good thing for us.
I think we have a Skol Experience record, 36 people in here right now, but yet only 9 entries for free shit. So
yeah, hashtag Skol.
I just don't understand
the video. It. Justin Jefferson rookie card, hashtag Skol in the comments. We're going to be giving it away pretty quick here, actually. And like the video. Absolutely. The likes are rolling. We're sitting pretty good on our end here. JD gets it, man.
Can I answer to you, Old Hope? He hasn't become a Hall of Famer. I don't know why you're asking me that, but go ahead. Continue.
I forgot when Cousins became a Hall of Famer. I
don't know why
with you on that. I think he is a Hall of Famer.
I don't know where he's. I have no idea where he's.
Kirky Cousins.
Oh,
this is one of those cases where the Kirk haters argue with themselves because I don't even think I even came close to talking about that.
What's the least you would take for Dalvin? I would trade Dalvin for literally anything because it's hard to get anything for a running back who's anything really like. Have him because it's depth.
Is there like a possibility where we trade him
or a 6th round pick
and that other team picks? Would they pick up his cap or like do we owe him?
No, well, dead cap's our deal.
Is there any chance we can give that to someone else?
No,
I don't know enough. That's like they can't be like, hey, we'll pay that.
That stays here.
Yeah.
I found out yesterday that we're not eligible for from Justin that we're not eligible for compensatory picks if there's dead cap still available. So like we're not going to get shit for Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Kind of like part of the punishment about trying to push the money out if you have a bad like a baddish contract, I suppose. Which makes sense.
If you're making bad decisions financially, you're not going to reward you for it.
Which Quasi's sitting here. It's like, I didn't do that. What are you guys talking about?
What do you mean? I moved him.
Okay, a ham sandwich isn't gonna be beneficial to the team though. Like
the guy says a ham sandwich.
7th round pick, just anything, just whatever would get it done because it's better than straight up cutting them. So
yeah. And you know we can't go in with Cook, Mattison like that. The cost of that running back room is insane. And we already misused them last year. So, and they're complaining about it. So I don't know.
And I want them to continue to be as pass heavy as they were. Like running the ball more is fine, but I like that the ratio between run and pass was so screwed, like toward passing. Cause
it reminded me of 2018. Right. I mean, we had Dalvin Cook. He was coming off he's got 1,000 yards, but we were one of the worst running team or the least running teams in the league. And that was 2018. Fast forward, that was our problem this year.
Well, I thought, but I think 2018, the biggest problem was that John DeFilippo tried to turn us into a freaking pass heavy, like pass only team, which is why Delvin didn't get a lot of the. The first game Stefanski took over, he had like 200.
We had 200 yards rushing that game.
Against the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't have much offense after that, though.
AJ, thanks for jumping in. Need to sign Slay. I wish, but I think he's going to cost way too much money. And it kind of.
What are you talking about? We got money.
Yeah, there's no end to money, man.
Eagles are still trying to keep Slay.
But it does kind of go against the youth movement.
He hasn't been officially released yet. Like they're still going to work something out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know. That would be.
I don't know if they're going to be able to, but Howie Roseman did that with Cox last year. Where they were like, we're releasing him, and then they ended up working something out. So they're doing that with Slay right now.
Yeah. We did that with Anthony Barr. He even went and signed into a whole different team.
Don't bring that evil in here. No Rodgers. I don't want a piece of Rodgers and his brittle bird bones California.
I don't know, man. If Kirk Cousins left next year and all of a sudden Rodgers comes.
So you're going to be paying Rodgers like $50 million and the 28.5 dead.
Yeah. Easy. Pay them.
It's worse than the Rams. Well, the Rams are probably the worst thing I saw, and they won the Super Bowl with that. Right. Yeah, they were still paying $27 million to a guy who was playing on the Lions, and they were paying Stafford. I'm like, that's even worse. That's $28 million, and then you're 50. That's $78 million to quarterback position.
Yeah, but the cap thing, it's not real. Like we can do it. We'll figure it out. You know, it's gotta be not real. I don't know we're doing all. Yeah, cap is a myth.
Well, we're in we're in a great situation. We're competitive right now. We're super competitive, honestly. Come off 13 wins, and we've gotten a good coach. We can fix his defense with draft picks, and who knows, maybe one or another free agent out there. So going in, and we're going to be super aggressive and cause a lot of turnovers. Well, you cause turnovers, we get an offense that score points. I mean, I'm super excited for this year, but super excited for the future too, because we got a good core. Kirk's might be gone, but hopefully we draft a good guy, and we got a team. It's like when you draft a rookie quarterback, they usually go to a shitty team, like the high end. Well, a quarterback comes to us. He's going to have weapons around him.
Right.
And, solid left and right tackle at least,
right. Well, then if he comes this year, say what you will about Kirk Cousins, but he'll learn a thing or two sitting behind a guy like that. So
you can learn a lot.
100%.
We're going to find out a lot on that next Netflix. I don't think that's out yet, right? That
no,
Netflix special.
By the way, though, like I know I'm probably going to get a bunch of things in the chat about this. I watched like the golf, Netflix did a golf show called Full Swing. And they kind of showed they showed you a lot like personal lives of some of the people. I really do think, and I think I saw it in like the description what the show's gonna be about. I think when this is all said and done, they probably won't change the feelings on the field, but I think a lot of people are gonna like Kirk Cousins behind the scenes. I think because it really like the golf show at least showed people in a different light, and I think you're really gonna see that with Kirk off the field. I think
I was gonna bring up his process too. Because
Yeah.
back when he first got picked and when we first signed him, they talked to him about things he did. Like he had like this computer that had like reaction things. So, you know, it would train his eyes and shit. So he was like super into technology and stuff like that. So it's going to be really interesting what kind of process he goes through.
Absolutely.
You know?
And then I want to go back to what Dave was
Hey,
saying about
one thing, Skol TY, you have to remember our superstar head coach is a quarterback that didn't make it into this league. So
Kirk is
sometimes if
bad.
you're not a
Why
good
would
quarterback,
you
teach,
yeah.
you know.
Well,
but
Kirk's not bad. I
Well,
don't
no,
think
Kirk
anyone
is a good
thinks
he's a
he's
good
bad.
quarterback. He's
That's
a good
the-
quarterback.
That's
I
a
think-
fringe suit. Yeah. Either you're trying to be funny or I don't know. You haven't watched too many games.
I think
don't
Kirk
know.
Cousins he's a good quarterback. Kirk
He's
Cousins
not
is a
bad,
good
yeah.
quarterback, but I just don't know if he's has the mental game to be have that it factor to be a Super Bowl quarterback. That's what I'm not convinced by. And he's
That's
35 now, so I don't know how much opportunities he'll have left to disprove that.
But kind of going back to what Dave was saying about Kwesi and the future of this team, like that's the thing. He's made it exciting this year because we're making moves to where like the defense got better, and we'll see how it goes with offense and draft and stuff. And there's still a lot to go, but yet he's setting it up to where the future there's tons of moves that can be made, and we can be incredibly successful. And I think that's perfect. And I don't want to hear another person say the Wilfs are bad owners who handicap this team and they bring in Kwesi and be like, here's what this team needs to look like. You can't do your own thing. We want this. We want that. Like, I don't want to hear that anymore because they're definitely the Wilfs have always been to the GM and head coach. What do you guys think we need to make this team better? Go do it. We'll open up the checkbooks if that's the case. Go make the moves you think are gonna be beneficial to this team, and let's get it done. Like
And
they
he's
have
made
always
it
been that way for years.
And
so
he's made it one of the number one destination franchises for free agents.
Yeah.
If
and
not
I just
the
so
best.
I think from top down organization wise, I think the Wilfs are amazing owners. I think Kwesi's doing a
It's
good
just
job.
the snow. It's a cold in the snow. That's the only
Right.
thing. And the taxes. Those are like the three things. Otherwise, we're like the perfect destination.
You
for
got
anybody.
you got to make it you got to make it comfortable.
Yeah.
Except for the state, it's the perfect destination.
Everything
I'm from the
besides
Midwest.
Minnesota in general.
It's great during the summer. You know,
Dave
we were
left
talking
there. He
the other
left there
day
a long
about
time ago.
how
He lives in Florida.
mosquitoes are the size of pterodactyls, though.
Yeah.
They're not like that down here. We spray for that shit.
don't know who's watching.
Minneapolis. Holy crap.
No, there's no
Or
mosquitoes.
Minnesota.
It doesn't get that cold.
Dude, I
there.
play baseball with the lights, and oh my god, you're like doing
It's
this
so
the whole
bad. I've
freaking
had
game.
some terrible mosquito situations there in Minnesota, man. For sure.
Well, we've been on for about an hour and 15 minutes. Let's see what we got going here. 12 entries. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Let's run this thing. So again, last time, hashtag Skol in the comments, like the video, subscribe to the channels.
The both channels.
Everything.
If you're mainly listening to us, go to GG and sign up. If you made you listen to GG, do me a favor, give me a sub.
And I have everything in the description, so you can go there. Tanishka's Twitter account is there as well, so you should go there and follow her. She has really good takes. And yeah, so hashtag Skol in the comments. I'll give to there we go. I'll do 9:15. So 1 minute. 1 minute we'll run this thing.
57,
What do we got? Oh,
56,
Wilfs are bad
55.
developers in New Jersey and New York.
It's
And a lot of
counting, so.
contractors are to sue them to get paid. We're not saying outside the football world. We're just talking about the football business itself. Because usually that's the thing. Like everyone wants to talk about how players make too much money. It's like, let's look at the owners who probably got all their money by doing some shady.
What, people sue each other? I'm like,
At least
people
some of
sue
them
each
for
other
sure.
in New Jersey and New York? No.
I didn't know
Like,
that.
Yeah.
That's how you make money, right?
Yeah. Okay. You see the size of mosquitoes in Texas? I've seen the size of spiders in Texas, and that is enough to keep me out of Texas.
Skol TYU, are you
No.
Texas? Maybe. I think I did have some. Was that you? I sent a card to San Antonio. I think it might have been. But I went to San Antonio recently. It's actually a lot nicer than I expected, to be honest. It's a pretty nice place.
In a zone podcast, we're gonna have to bring you on sometime.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Thanks for joining, by the way, as well. You should see the snowflakes in New York, Buffalo, New York. That's got to be
hell yeah.
crazy. I don't even know.
That was
Buffalo's
there.
just it gets smashed every single year, and we complain in Minnesota, but Buffalo just gets destroyed.
Texas should be its own country.
Dylan Dotson, yeah, I did the Riverwalk. That was actually super cool. I just didn't know a lot about San Antonio, so I went down and did the Riverwalk, and that actually blew my expectations away big time. compared to the Alamo is cool too, but the Riverwalk, if you go to San Antonio, you have to do that. And you can have like drinks and stuff, like open container down there. It's a pretty cool spot, actually. All right, 9:15. We're going to run this. What's a snowflake? Stop. Stop. All right, let's run this. Oh, wrong one.
That's me, Jamie.
All right. So hashtag
13 entries.
13 entries. We're rocking this. Let's go. Let's see who wins here. Come on. Let's see. We got Yogi Howard. That's a new
winner.
Yogi, are you in here? When was the last time we seen him?
He commented a little bit ago, yeah. Hit us with the Skol. But yeah, definitely if you're not in here, find us on social medias. Hit us up. Any other thoughts before we close out here?
No, man.
Yogi, hey, what's going on? Hey, go if you haven't already, go follow us on Twitter or Instagram. All of that stuff is in the description below, and DM us, and so I can get your mailing address so we can send this card out to you right away.
Absolutely.
I think this is your third time on this channel, Tanishka. This is the second time on this show. I brought you last time. I think I brought you on with Justin and me and Under the Lights, but the first time was with these guys.
Yes.
So hey, you're welcome back anytime.
Yeah.
Definitely. We'll keep it coming for sure. No,
sounds great.
I like your takes. You definitely have some good insights on a lot of the stuff that I didn't even look into, like your stuff on just the DJ Moore thing. That was I wouldn't even put that together that quick.
Knowledge that we're too lazy to look up.
Size.
That was that was the whole conversation. I'm just saying, just that was something that I bet you nobody else even looked into. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was seeing all your tweets and I was like, about hey, Kirk Cousins gonna be moving on. Yay! I'm like, let's bring her on.
I know. Wishful thinking.
But then to see your takes with our new with Murphy, it was awesome. So that's golden.
Thank you guys. Y'all the real one. Thanks, JD.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks again for joining. Like I said, I think we had a record number of people in here at one time with 36.
Let's go.
Gotta keep it going. Hit subscribe if you haven't already on all the channels. GG Sports Podcast, Dave, Minnesota Sports Talk.
By the way.
Purple and Gold for Days, Purple Pocket Podcast, Purple and Skol Media. Find them all. Find Tanishka on Twitter. And thanks for watching. See you guys next
tomorrow. Come watch me at 9:00 on Skol World Live. I'm bringing Johnny Football back. So
we got to get him on here again too. That guy knows his shit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But all right, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Tanishka, but
Yogi again. Go.
He already messaged us, Jamie. We're good.
Oh, okay, we're good. All right.
Awesome. All right.
All right.
See you guys later.
Skol Vibes.